Chad Edgeworth. Czardia had a much rockier road to get to this point. However, he has gotten here and was one of the early favorites in the tournament. So this is going to be an interesting match. You have a favorite versus somebody who really was a dark horse, but has gotten much better as the competition's gone on.
Looks like we have Zap in the level 1 magic shop.
Ain't no magic like time magic. And an early Cure 4 that the Red Mage can learn, that's going to be very helpful.
So for those of you who can see, Czar is having some controller issues, so he has decided to play with his keyboard. So as he's still getting his fingers underneath him, bear with him as he moves a little slowly.
I don't think it'll take him long to get used for it. It's used to it, excuse me. I say that as it looks like his stream has done something.
Is he resetting?
I think I bet he reset his emulator to get a controller, maybe?
I don't know.
We got some early chain armor. That is a great starting armor for red mages and fighters. It actually has the same defense as a silver bracelet. It doesn't afford the same evade, but it is not a heavy item per se, so it doesn't affect your evade too much in the negative way. And an early silver sword, he'll want to pick that up. Both runners will want to pick that up, actually. You'll see WillBloodworth probably picking it up and putting it on his red mage, whereas Czardia will get one for each, depending on how much they want to grind in the early game.
As I mentioned before, the prices go up to 400%. We see some kind of expensive heals and softs early on.
Right, and that's something that's always guaranteed in the first item shop. You will always see pure and you'll always see soft, and that'll allow our runners to basically get through the game, or get through the first part of the game without too much trouble.
Yeah, I remember back in the early days, we didn't have that, and then we'd run races and get poisoned and stunned or stoned, and that was bad. That's why we kind of asked if we could get guaranteed pures and softs in the first town. Oh, TNT in the Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, it's dynamite. Yeah, well, I thought that joke was funny.
TNT has, there are 3 treasure chests in Temple of Fiends. There are 18 treasure chests within the first segment of the game as they are looking for the TNT. Thankfully, it comes up in the third, so there are a handful of things we get to skip.
So with this early TNT, where would you guys go? Would you guys chant Marsh Cave? Or would you go straight to Crescent Lake? What would you guys do?
I mean, I think at this point I'd have to skip Marsh, only because there are a few things that you can check to see if you can gain levels. Maybe when you get to Crescent Lake, you can gain some levels. Somewhere good.
Yeah, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to Marsh if I don't have to. So I believe I'm going to go ahead and head straight to Melmond. You know, in this seed, it's not always the worst idea to do the top floor of Earth Cave, depending on what you have in terms of spells, if you have Warp or if you have Exit, especially with the encounter table, which we haven't really gotten a good look at it, and this is a very bad place to really get a good grasp on what the encounter table looks like because of the no encounter tiles leading up to the Temple of Fiends. But here shortly we should have a pretty solid idea of what they're in for, and if it's a light encounter table, a lot of steps in between encounters, it may not be the worst idea to go to Earth Cave and see what you can find quickly.
Especially in the last race where Floater was in the first floor of Earth Cave.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I was dealing with our newest little speedrunner Hudson. Unfortunately, he is in bed tonight, so he will not be making an appearance. I know that a lot of people are sad to hear that, but he might be around for the next race. I know me, it's heartbroken.
So now we're just picking up a couple of progression items before we go across the bridge to Provoca.
I thought it was Provoca.
Tomato,
Have I been wrong
tomato.
all these years?
I say Provoca as well.
Well, I mean, what are the odds that both of you are wrong?
I mean, I got nothing. We have a question in chat. What if speedrunner Hudson becomes Let's Player Hudson? Will we still love him? I personally will love him, but that's only because I'm required by law to love him until he's 18. I can't speak for everyone else. Everybody, we got a Tristal sighting in our chat. Everybody say hi to Tristal. He was the winner of our last race. Unfortunately for our nice tracker, he beat him in their race. And so they will be having one more round in the semifinal flags, and the winner of which will be waiting for the winner of the next 2 matches, I believe. The loser of which will face the winner of this match and Ice Blue in the next match.
WillBloodworth is about to go check out Matoya's cave, which also contains 3 chests, though he already has the TNT.
You
It's an
never
interesting
know.
choice. I prefer to go to Provoca first and then come back to Matoya, but it's more of a personal choice, I guess.
Well, he found the ruby,
Yay!
so he could do early Earth, which you never know. Could have the floater or the crown.
Yeah, sounds fun. Let's never do it.
Well, I mean, I think as players we wouldn't want to see it, but I think as fans out there, I think chat may very well want to see something very trolly like that.
Looks like Zara is going to skip Matoya's cave.
I don't disagree. And missing, he had a rough first minute and a half, so he's probably thinking that the quicker he gets Provoca and gets the ship, the better off he'll be.
Yes, it is true. Currently, for the Tristal Edge match, it is Tristal 1, Edge 1, and Pirates 1. As we had to stop at the 30-minute mark because Pirates had Fire 2, and we couldn't get past that point.
Here's seeing what's white magic. Doesn't look like Fog 2 is going to be good.
I would grab Fog 2 for sure.
Fog 2 increases the armor of your entire party.
And A-Rub is not exactly the worst spell in the world to have either. Ooh. This could be another interesting seed. Depending on what the Pirates have. But it doesn't look like they have much of anything.
Does that mean currently our best spell is Zap after two levels?
I believe so.
Ain't no magic like a time magic.
I mean, Brack is pretty good, but Zap is a good AoE, especially on these guys.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Split Punch isn't in here, because he might have reached through the screen and punched you in the split. It's for Zondo. Not mentioning Brack.
So this is our next progression item is the ship. It will help us get off this continent and move on to Elfland or beyond in the case of having the TNT.
Wow, $3,000 for a house. That is quite expensive.
Yeah,
I'll take $3,000 for my house in a heartbeat.
cabins are almost 900. It's just not a good market this time of year.
Guess not.
Y'all are just spoiled.
Well, and Chopper, next time the housing market, just gonna have to check it out.
Oh,
We might find a
Czardia is
house for
doing the
$3,000.
cha-cha with the Mohican in his screen. And Will's off.
I'm assuming that he will swing by Elfland and check on Fells and the potion shop to see if the bottle is there.
What he might do is he might blow the TNT and then swing south and come up the southern port of Elfland. At least that's what I would do.
That's what I prefer to do as well, and then circle around, depending. It usually saves you. It saves you like, I want to say like 20 tiles. It's not a big difference, but it is something.
Well, either that or you could go straight from Elfland to Castle Ordeals if your name is Edgeworth.
Well, you would need
go.
a canoe to do that, wouldn't you?
Not if you're Edgeworth.
Say hi to the crowd, Edge.
Looks like Czardia is stopping in Matoya's cave. Yeah, I would probably, personally, I would go to Elfland first before I blow up the TNT. It's just, that's what I normally do.
So we have a question in chat. What is Randomizer? And is Randomizer, long and short of it, just about everything. We have random spells in each shop, although they are tied to their previously accessible spell positions. So, for example, the levels 1, 3, and 4 shops, the Red Mage can only learn spells in the first and third slots, not the second and fourth. We have random chest items. It can be your chest could have everything from 10 gold up to the ruby or adamant or a ribbon, and they've been shuffled around pretty much everywhere. The only exception is in Ice Cave and Ordeals. You are guaranteed to get something that is either a progression item or a high value item, like the Mass Immune or a ribbon or the ruby or so on. The stats on monsters are randomized. The prices in shops are randomized, and the experience and gold gained per battles are not randomized, but they are increased by a fixed amount.
Ooh, really expensive Ice 3, 15,000.
Heck, in this version, that's his couch cash. So we got a question in chat. Hey Split, how do you feel about a 1/4 chance of insta-killing Kraken 1 and Tiamat 1? How do you feel about that, Swarzando and Shofukamachi?
Well, I just got my first Bane Sword kill on Chaos yesterday, so that definitely makes you feel good when you do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would feel pretty good about it, but I generally don't get brack because I usually have a fighter or black belt that will just punch him to death.
Sounds like a plan. And Czardia got the Bane Sword over on his screen. I know that'll make a few people in our chat really happy.
Bane strat hype.
Ooh, and one of those had Glare. Not good for early game.
I believe that was the Ogre, or Ogre, as they say in the France.
I believe Sar blew up the tunnel. And the poor dwarf.
Narek, no!
That is true, I have had chaos run away from me.
Have you really?
Yeah. It was pretty neat. I get there, I punch him once, and then he was like, nope, run away.
That might be the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I think you can't finish the game if chaos runs from you, right?
Oh, you finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Chitin clipped it, so it's probably on my channel somewhere.
Did somebody post that in chat? That needs to be seen by everybody.
I'll see if I can find it.
Now we've got WillBloodworth picking up that Bane Sword, as well as the Aegis Shield, which will be useless to him.
Hey man, it's money. Dollar bills, y'all. You know what they say, more money, more problems.
I mean, are you really saying that, or would you rather have more money?
I mean, I'd rather have those problems. Well, that was awkward.
So anyway, we have WillBloodworth heading over to Melman to drop in and see what level 5 spells are available. Biz 2 is nice if you don't find the white shirt. And Temper is going to be a nice pickup. But that is not in a slot the Red Mage can learn.
Uh-oh.
Is it?
It was in slot 1, correct? He can learn that.
Temper was slot 2 or 3.
Oh, well, he can learn it when he gets the upgrade then.
Okay. Looks like Will is going to do an early Earth Cave.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not like one of the commentators called that or anything.
He's got that ruby, and he could go give the handout Titan his handout.
And it looks like Czar's going to Marsh.
Oh my god, this is the most painful seed already.
This is
Two
one of those
very different strats.
Great
Feed the
route
Titan
conversion.
for the memes. As anyone who has ever watched anything in any randomizer or speedrunning channel, we all know the most important thing about running the game is the memes.
Very true.
Sometimes I really think this Titan's just looking for a handout.
I mean, it is an addiction. Look at this. Rubies are my favorite. And for those of you who watched that clip, Edge made a comment on not necessarily chaos running, but the cat waking up in the background.
I haven't had a chance to watch that clip yet. Let me see here.
Ogres with glare. Ouch.
So while we are on this little bit of a break while they move into their respective caves, so far we have seen 10 possible chests out of 231, so we've got a long way to go.
Czar is dancing with a bat in his screen.
We're going to see how terrible monsters are in the Marsh Cave.
The answer is always and always.
Correction, make that 12 chests. So what kind of mean and nasty things are we looking forward to in the Marsh Cave today?
Nuke. Specifically, the skill set of Medusa's getting nuked. Therefore, 3 different enemies in the game getting the Medusa skill set, which means 3 enemies in the game have nuke. That's what we're looking for.
Ouch.
Who did that happen to the other day?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was the other day, but I know I played that seed that everyone was talking about because it was like the sea snakes, the imps, and somebody else. Ended up with nuke.
That's just God's way of punishing you for being a heathen.
Yeah, well. So the question in chat from Musical Dork, how many chests are guaranteed to never be opened in a seed? Well, depends. Most people will never open the key-locked Marsh chests.
Thank you, Edge, for that comment.
Most people, that is very true. But those, and then the, 5-6 chests in Temple of Fiends Revisited, the ones on Carry Floor and the Masamune chest generally don't get opened. But if you do a scavenger hunt with myself and Edge, you will 100% the game.
And that is 231 chests.
And we went through all of them. Because the last item we were looking for was the flame sword, and it was in the Masamune chest.
To answer Musical Dork's question, that's probably 9. 3 locked in Marsh Cave, 5 in Temple of Fiends that you don't normally check, and then there actually is 1 that is probably checked very rarely in the Sea Shrine because it is locked behind a crown door.
And for those who are wondering, yes, we are all in fact nerds.
Agreed.
Yay, math. Boo liberal arts like music.
We won't get into that.
Nerds!
Nerd.
I'm thinking, as we look towards the finals, the winner of the finals has to do just basically a seed with all of the flags on. I wonder if we could get a vote that it is also a 100% chest run.
Ooh.
So we have a question in chat. Shouldn't these guys be heading to Crescent Lake? What's with the Earth Cave strats?
Well, the Earth Cave strat just paid off for Will as he found a ribbon.
Yeah, he'll be happy to see that. So with the ribbon, he might be more inclined to go ahead and head to Volcano now. With the ribbon, that makes the Black Belt grinding strats significantly safer. There's very little that can happen from the Agama that can damage him because since the Agama is fire-based and the ribbon protects against all elements, there's nothing that the Agama can do that can really hurt him, with the exception of the 3 in 256 chance of stun passing through, or stone touch, or death touch, or something to that effect.
Or it could be terribly strong and just punch him to death.
Pish bosh.
If I found that early ribbon, I would probably go to Ice Cave and grind on the eye. But that's generally what I do anyways. But with that ribbon, survivability in the Ice Cave is much better. And because there's an incentivized chest there, I'd probably go there first anyways.
Sometimes the Earth B1 strat can pay off, especially if you happen to have a warp or an exit, something that gets you in and out quickly. Ideally, you only really want to spend a couple minutes down there if you happen to have an inkling. Mathematically, it's not a smart play, but people have beaten me after doing it, so it must be worth something.
I mean, people have beaten me after doing it. People have beaten me after not doing it. People have beaten me after they took a 30-minute break to go talk to their wives. So, I mean, I'm not really one to say if it's a good strat or not.
Question in chat, what percentage experience bonus will the bonus round be? We do not know. And it is yet to be determined. And it looks like Will is headed into Crescent Lake.
Czar's going to hand his TNT over to blow a hole in the mountainside, or whatever that is.
And that poor dwarf was never seen again.
Oh no, he was seen. We found a toe here, a fingernail there, an eyeball somewhere over there.
His last words were, "Hold my beer."
Oh, we have stun locked Czar. Oh no. And Czar has to return in the TNT. So we'll get to have a guy hold his beer again.
Like Edge said, My name is Narek, and welcome to Jackass. Alright, nothing too exciting in Crescent so far. We have a Hill 3 sighting, which is good. Definitely the best mass heal spell. And not much else in the Black Magic shop.
So now he's going to pick up his canoe from the Illuminati.
They're men in hats. They're manly men in hats. Yeah, they roam around the forest looking for cats. Will is like the meanest person ever. These dudes are just trying to keep their heads from exploding, and he's out there punching them.
What a jerk.
Now, I like to think he's relieving them of their misery.
Maybe
I feel like if somebody's head's hurting, you're not going to punch them in the head, but I could be wrong.
Question in chat, do we have Temper or Fast yet? Temper is level 5 in Melmond, but it is not accessible to Red Mage currently.
Looks like Czardia is going to follow Will over to the Earth Shrine. Will's got a pretty significant advantage at the moment. There's still a lot of race left to be run, but at this point, he's got about, 10-minute advantage. What do you guys think?
Maybe 5. Because it just depends on where Will goes after this.
So right now, Will is doing what we call encounter manipulation. He is basically forcing the encounter table to reset, checking to see what fights will occur at the very start of a particular power cycle. And so because that too is randomized, we can actually check on the list what is going to occur within the first X number of fights. The very first fight comes up with what we call as the EXPs, or the XPs, or however you want to pronounce them. They generally give a great amount of experience, and if they are low HP or otherwise die fairly easily, can be a great source of experience for riding in the volcano.
Speaking of which, I've got to ask, what do you think that EXP's thinking? Like, he's just sitting there trying to eat a meal, and then all of a sudden these 4 dudes walk out and try to squish him, and then one sends him to the 4th dimension and he's never seen from again. I mean, like, what the hell, man?
I mean, they are really large. Maybe the Peds could have squished them.
So are my ex-girlfriends, but you don't see me sending them there. Womp womp.
Womp womp. Looks like Will's probably going to try to go to level 12 or 13, and then he'll probably go to either volcano or ice.
Zara does look drunk playing on a keyboard. Thank you for noticing, Tristal.
I just want to take this opportunity to plug our runners' Twitch channels. If you like what you see, feel free to give our runners a follow. They certainly will appreciate that.
Gilgamesh hangs out in the 4th dimension. New things I'm learning every day.
Is that why he's not in this game?
Probably.
Isn't he in all the other ones?
Is he in 4? I don't think he's in 4.
See, now I'm thinking about it.
While we are thinking about it, Zar is cautiously making his way over to the Earth Cave. It is kind of surprising to me that both runners have chosen this route. With where they're at, the number of chests that you would get compared with the difficulty of acquiring the chests, I would personally have just simply moved over to Crescent Lake, potentially onto Volcano or somewhere where a greater number of chests are.
Well, Czardia's got to be pretty confident in his abilities. He's a good runner, and he knows he's a good runner. He knows he's got that he'll make up time. And I mean, I hate to say it, but Will's sick, and he's not on the top of his game today, but he's out there toughing it out. But I'm willing to wager that Czardia is probably considering that in his routing.
And also, Czardia is playing with keyboard strats, something he's definitely not used to, so he's probably taking that into account as well.
Let's see, it looks like Will is going to head somewhere other than Volcano. We'll find out whether he's going Ice or Castle of Ordeals.
Chat, where do you think he's heading? I think he's going to Ice.
Will has had a number of problems skipping Castle Ordeals. But it looks like he's not going there first this time.
That's true. That's one of the reasons why he's in the Garland bracket, is because he skipped Ordeals until the very end of the game.
Ordeal strats.
And then sometimes you go to Ordeals and you're like, you know what? Catch you later, homie. And you turn around and leave, like your favorite commentator here did earlier today.
And Will is definitely heading to Ice. Get to see what's in the incentivized chest there.
Is it bad that I actually pointed to myself IRL when I said your favorite commentator? Like I had to remind myself.
I think everybody knows.
Oh, I thought I was his favorite.
Oh.
Nope.
So,
Number one, baby.
Ice Cave. Ice Cave has 16 chests, including one of our precious incentivized chests. 16 is a pretty good concentration of chests, especially with where they're located. So with our incentivized chests, it can be any number of these key items that we are looking for. Because we have already found the ruby, we are looking for either the floater, slab, or crown, preferably the floater in that group. Or we could find the adamant, the tail, another ribbon, or the mass immune. So 3 out of 7 that it's something story driven, key driven, and 4 out of 7 that it is just a regular old useful item.
Well, chat, put your predictions. What's going to be in the incentivized chest?
I almost started a Rubio chant just now, but yeah.
Where's on it? I'm going to say tail.
I'm going to say crown with the slab back in Marsh. Got a question in chat. What places are incentivized? The eye chest in the ice cave, as well as the zombie dragon or tail chest in the castle of ordeals.
These items would normally contain the floater and the tail respectively, so if you get a vanilla roll, those will be what's in there. Now, we're not hoping for that because it's a randomizer. We don't want anything like it normally is.
We got some eye mages.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say that Mass Immune is in the incentivized ice chest. I think this will help Will do his black belt grind, get One Punch Man to higher levels. A neat little trick he's employing
and
here
a crown
is
in the incentivized chest.
if you cast Warp, it will warp you back to the spot that you last were in on the previous floor. So if you fall down the hole right between the 3, you can warp back up onto that tile and check all 3 of those chests at once.
Which is exactly what Will did.
Well, now that we have the crown, there are a handful of places that open up for us. Crown opens up an additional 27 chests. All but 3 of them are in relatively safe locations. But without the floater, do you check them?
I would, definitely. I mean, if you're going to go ahead and head over to the Elfland to turn it in, then you might as well go ahead and check the chests that are there, as well as in Cornelia, and Temple of Fiends. They're not far away, nor is Dwarf Cave. And with the concentration of chests that you have there, you've got a good chance of getting something that you'll need.
Got a tail sighting in the bottom floor of the ice cave.
Now, for those that aren't aware, the tail's probably not going to be turned in for a while. First, you need a floater to turn it in, but you'll very rarely see a runner turn it in before he has a chance to level up the black belt. The reason why is because the black belt gets 4 magic defense, which is a hidden stat, but a very real one, per level. However, the master that the black belt upgrades to will only get 1 magic defense per level. And if you're planning on leveling up your black belt and grinding, you're going to want to do that before you turn in the tail.
Oh man, floater.
Oh!
Ice cave, best cave. And like I said, you should go to ice cave first. I never ever said you should go to volcano first.
Well,
why would anybody say that? I mean,
it looks
God,
like
they must be terrible at this game.
Everything is rolling up WillBloodworth's way in this game so far.
It looks like Zara's gonna finish out the Earth Cave.
That, or possibly just do the second floor. There's merit to that, and there's merit to finishing that out. Oh wait, did he already get those chests?
Wow, Will opting not to grind.
I guess it's a yes.
I think so. Crown was an incentivized chest.
I think perhaps Will is looking for maybe 1 or 2 more items before starting a grind.
And he'll probably get the airship since he's on.
That's true, and since he's getting the airship, he's probably going to want to go ahead and hit up the crown chest, as well as the Czardia Isles before he starts his grind. There's a good chance he'll find something helpful there. He'd be really excited to find a Masamune. That would make his grind to probably 42 significantly quicker, because he's going to use it for at least the first 20 some odd levels of his grind. With the Masamune, when you're grinding as a black belt, it actually has better damage than the black belt's fists until level 32, at which point you need to switch over to the fists. But it makes it a significantly quicker grind.
So, question for you guys then. Castle of Ordeals has an incentivized chest. The possible items are Adamant, Forex Scouter, a Ribbon, the Masamune, or the Slab. Do you go to Ordeals?
No.
Yeah, at this point I would not go to Ordeals. I mean, having all the stuff, you can check the crown, you can go to crown chest, you can go to Czardia Islands. And of course he'll probably grind in Volcano, which there's a high chance of something being there too.
You've got how many crown chests? 12 crown chests you can get right off the bat. Maybe more.
You have 21 that don't run into enemy encounters.
Oh, okay, there you go. So you have 21 chests you can get right off the bat with the crown, and then however many in the volcano. I don't see the point in going to Ordeals for 8 chests, only one of which is guaranteed to give you something. For all you know, he can give you the Adamant, and that is the last thing that Will wants. And Will knows this. With all the chests that he can get otherwise, he's much better off, I feel like, going through the Crown and Volcano first.
And Will is opting to do the crown chain.
Oh no! The king! It was Astos all along.
What?
What a fiend.
That kindly old man turned out to be Astos. Ugh.
What's this world coming to? We have a Brack sighting, everyone. Attention, attention, a Brack sighting.
Will is kind of struggling with this Astos a little bit.
Oh man, trance.
Trance party.
And I think trance is one of the few things that will go through a ribbon, or has a chance to go through the ribbon.
I think someone needs to pull the zap back out. There he goes. Oh, he's attacking. Breaks my heart a little bit. Bracks my heart a little bit.
Well, we had the unbeatable vampire on Czardia's side.
And it looks like he means business this time around.
Oof.
Whoa. Bye, vampire.
Time to see what vampire was hiding. He was hoarding some gold.
Alright, so the Master of Insta-Kills says the Insta-Kill strats are not good for Astos. And if Split Punch says he would use Insta-Kill strats here, I'm inclined to believe him.
Oh, I don't think he's saying he wouldn't do them.
And Will looks like he is giving up.
In all the times and all the seeds, I never thought I'd see a trolly Astos.
Yeah, he's definitely maybe a little not strong with his physical attacks, so maybe he'll go check the Czardia caves for stuff. Oh, no, he's gonna go back.
Round 2. I think he only had one charge of fire through, which was why he left and went to the inn.
Looks like it might be possible Czar is employing a 3-man strat, that or he's just not giving up on the Earth Cave. Or the wizards are just really tough.
That they are. Oh, and Czardia is out of heal potions.
Uh-oh.
I don't think he's going to finish Earth Cave. This might be where he stops. And we got a Rururu sighting over in Czardia's screen. Everybody say hi to Mute.
And Astos is just not giving up without a fight.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I almost feel like we'd have to leave and go to Czardia Isles and see what you find and come back.
While Czar is checking the Earth Cave, I did not give the stats for the Earth Cave. The Earth Cave has 24 chests in total, 16 up to the vampire and his treasure, and 8 in the floor below. But the one downside to Earth Caves is they're just so spaced out that it's usually not worth the time to do. I don't know if Czar feels a little desperate or is just trying to do something Will wouldn't do in hopes that it'll make up some ground somewhere.
Well, I think Czar is gambling because he knows that for him, Topher is going to be quite awful. As if you've watched any of his most recent races, when he gets the Topher, it's just he gets the worst of the worst in terms of RNG. So I think he's going to try to gamble, and hopefully it'll pay off maybe he thinks he'll get ahead that way. That way he can have a huge head start and then hopefully finish before Will.
I know one thing. This is definitely an interesting looking seed. Oh, and Will just got a lock 2 off. That's actually a pretty big deal. That makes Astos infinitely more hittable. You wouldn't know it by all the misses, but he is more hittable. I can't remember exactly. Maybe somebody can fill me in on the chances of lock 2 actually working. But I want to say it's a 3 in 64 chance.
It's definitely not very high. I think I've got it like once.
I guess the lucky thing on WillBloodworth's side is this Astos kind of hits like a baby, so...
You say that, but I have a 4-month-old, and I'm going to tell you right now, he hurts.
And Astos is down.
Astos goes down. And I'm sure he's going to save a lot.
You could say he was a bit of a Astos. Yeah!
Yeah, that wasn't funny till you yelled.
And we have Czar taking on Lich.
1v1. Is Lich really as weak as they say he is?
Whole day to win.
And he wins.
Wow.
Yay.
Czar takes out Lich.
A very rare Lich first kill. Unfortunately, other than the orb, he really, and the ribbon, he really doesn't have much to show for it.
Yeah, that dungeon definitely sent him back a while, and I don't see WillBloodworth heading there until the end. He's already made the point to go to the first floor. He's probably not going to have much motivation to do anything there until at the end of the game when he's in go mode. And that's going to save him a good amount of time, especially with the headaches that Czardia ran into in the Earth Cave.
So now we are checking on those crown chests. That's going to be 4 here.
Oh, and Will picks up the Mossmoon.
This mess me. Let's write that down.
Like I said, if I'm him, I'm heading to Volcano next.
Look at that flame sword, Edgeworth. Wish it was there in our race last night.
So we've got 4 in Elf Castle, 3 in Astos' Batcave, 8 hiding with the dwarves, 6 in Cornelia Castle, 3 in the Temple of Fiends, and 3 in the Marsh Cave that no one will touch. Technically, also there is 1 in Sea Shrine, but I don't know if we'll see it this game.
It looks like Czar is finally heading over to...
And Will's in a good spot to go ahead and stock up, so he's going to go ahead and pick himself up 4 gold bracelets as well as 4 pro rings. He's going to be in great shape to head to the Volcano or Ordeals if you'd like to next, although I can't see much reason for him to head to Ordeals. However, after his last race, he may feel a little jaded, almost like he has to.
4 gold rings.
You're in timeout.
Question in chat, how many licks does it take to get to the center? To get the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
A 1, a 2, a 3. A 3. Looks like Czardia's rolling around like, I don't need no friends.
Using the Bane strats.
Bane strats, best strats. Somewhere there's a wild split punched howling at the moon.
So, as of now, WillBloodworth probably has a fairly sizable lead on Czardia. So, chat, are you guys hoping then that Temple of Fiends kind of turns this around for him? What do you guys want to see heading into the back end of the game?
Me personally, I don't like to see runners get punished for going to TOFR early when they're performing well. I mean, the TOFR is an equalizer, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But when a runner is doing the absolute best that they can possibly do, and they get punished in TOFR and they ultimately lose a race, it feels almost like they got cheated. To me, at least.
4-hour chaos fight. That is apparently what people want to see.
Yeah, that is not the kind of sentiment we need here.
Yeah, well, these are the people who have probably never had a 4-hour chaos fight.
And I'm sure Randomania has other things tonight.
I don't know if WillBloodworth will survive a 4-hour chaos fight.
And there's high potential that he may die before that. So we would like him to finish this race.
You know, I almost wonder if he's going to PR just because he needs to finish this as fast as humanly possible. Question in chat, mob stats for this one round 300%? Yes, it actually goes from 33 to 300%. So some monsters will be incredibly tough and some monsters will be paper thin.
That's correct, and those stats aren't just reserved for their health. They're for every individual stat, so a particular boss could roll 33% HP, but 300% evade. We've seen Chaos do that before, and at 250%, I believe, if Chaos rolls that or higher, he will have max evade, which can make for a really, really interesting Chaos fight. Which is one of the main reasons why you want to level your black belt up to 42.
Yep. And Will finding the white shirt, which is very good. Casting these two.
Right, and it's a really good armor as well for your white mage. It, unless I'm mistaken, it protects against fire and death magic, and it gives you 24 armor, which is the same as a gold bracelet.
I think Drum Bordist has the best result. He would want one person to go for Bane strats on Chaos at the exact same time the other runner has Chaos run from him, and they tie.
That can't happen. The world would literally collapse on itself.
Well, it would probably happen to Czar.
So we have somebody commenting in Twitch that a Cure 4 max evade strat would be hilarious. Or max evade stat would be hilarious. I do believe that Edge and Will were actually part of a race like that 2 or 3 rounds ago, where that exact same thing happened, and they fought against Chaos for what seemed like about an hour and a half before they actually had to set an agreement that if it took over a certain amount of time, they would have to call it a draw. So as funny as that is, it is a very real possibility, and not one the runners are looking forward to.
And I was part of a showcase race prior to the tournament starting, where these stats were exactly the same. And we had a max evade Tiamat, a max evade Phantom, a max evade Chaos, and a max...
Jesus.
I think Kraken had super high defense, and I ended up barely winning on basically luck. But it was really intense. I think Ice Blue had spent he was the first one to get to Kraken and Tiamat, and he was there like an hour before I was.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Kraken the secret boss in that game? He was, and he didn't even have max evade.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the bosses. I mean, he hit super hard. He one-shotting everybody. Then I think Tiamat, along with his high evade, had nuke and nuclear. It was bad. But
I mean, it was fun to watch. I'm glad I wasn't in it.
It was fun for people. I think I finished just under the 3-hour mark, and then everyone else was right around like the 3:30 or something. It was pretty brutal.
We had WillBloodworth checking the Czardia Islands, and there are 13 chests. Not a whole lot over there, but now he's out looking for the bottle. The bottle will lead us to the Oxial, which will lead us to the Sea Shrine.
And there's only 2 places left for that. That's going to be Gaia, where he currently is, and then Onrak, which is probably the last place he wants to see it. So if it's there, he has to get it, then he has to turn around and drive, or fly all the way back to Gaia, then fly all the way back to Onrak again. And Commentator's Curse.
The trolls. So Will,
you have everything go right.
So Will hasn't done any progression towards killing any of the bosses. Where do you think he's gonna go first at this point?
Looks like Waterfall Cave. I don't necessarily agree with this because Waterfall Cave has some really nasty monsters in it. Or he could just not do that.
He's probably picking up the bottle. He'll probably do the waterfall and then get the cube, and that way he can be done with it. And he does have warp.
To respond to Driscoll's comment, waterfall may not be easy if you've got nuke mummies at this point.
Nuke mummies, Fire 2 or Fire 3 mummies would be a pain in the butt at level 11.
Yeah, it's a little interesting that he's going kind of out of his way to look for chests.
Ladies and gentlemen of the chat, please ignore that sound. My co-commentator was trying to kill a fly in the background with one of his highball glasses, it sounded like.
So I think Will is he's just chest hunting first, and then I'm assuming he'll go to Volcano first and power grind his black belt.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting routing at this point. I'm hesitant to head up here without doing Volcano because you're already there. You're really close to it, and then you're turning around and heading back. I mean, it's not the worst idea ever. It's just different.
I just want to go back to the co-commentator highball glass. Is that Speedrunner Hudson's highball glass that you just mentioned?
No. Speedrunner Hudson's actually asleep for once, which is why my wife threatened me about 5 minutes ago that if I talked any louder than my current volume, she would come down here and emasculate me in front of everyone. Oh, wait, do we have a... No, ooh, bat.
No out-of-bounds bat.
He's the battiest bat that ever batted. Rated PG-13.
Now that we've got the correct command in there, I want to take this opportunity to encourage you guys to follow the runners on Twitch. Give them a follow. Go watch them from time to time. These guys do good work in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. And if this is something you appreciate, certainly feel free to give them a follow and join us. If somebody has that Discord link, we can get that up there too. Come and join us on the Discord as well.
But if you want to be really cool, instead of following our runners, you can follow us, the commentators. We're the real flavor in this stream.
Yeah, but your flavor's like baby powder and dirty diapers. I don't know.
And shame.
And shame. Sweat, anger, and shame.
There's that Discord link. Thanks, Drumboardist.
As Drumboardist yells in the chat, for Discord!
And to
You can't make me laugh. I swear to God, my wife will come down here and kill me. Oh, wow. Will heading over to Ordeals. He might be attempting to do the zombie dragon grind while he's here.
Let's not forget, it was not doing Ordeals that cost Will the last round.
That's true. So he'll obviously be checking for what's in the incentivized chest. So we have Crown, Floater, Ruby, Tail. So options are limited here at this point.
And unfortunately, it gets a little worse for him, actually. It's a 1 in 4 that it's going to contain the slab, 1 in 4 that it's going to contain the adamant, which is absolutely useless to him, and then the ribbon or the mass immune.
Well, he already has the mass immune.
Yeah, he has the mass immune, so he's got a 1 in 3
It's a little better for him. Oh, I did write that down, didn't I? Yes, I did.
And that's one thing worth mentioning while we got a moment to talk about it. With the way they randomize these chests and the incentivized chests, there are 3 ribbons in a game that can be picked up. However, since there's 2 incentivized chests, you can only find 1 ribbon between the 2 incentivized chests. So in the pool of items that could be an incentivized chest, there's only 1 ribbon. So you cannot find both ribbons or 2 of the 3 ribbons in ice and ordeals, if that makes sense. So if he had found a ribbon in ice, he would not have a chance to find it here in ordeals, which would make his odds significantly better of finding the slab. However, it would also make them significantly better to find the adamant. And I don't believe that Will saved before entering the Castle of Ordeals, so we're going to probably see a quick reset if he doesn't find the slab.
Yes.
Edge makes a great point in chat as well.
Yes, if he does find the slab here, he will be in go mode, and then what he'll do is he'll grind his black belt to 42, and then or 32 or 40. I'm assuming he'll go 42, just because it's 300%, maximum stats, and then he'll go 1 punch everything.
I'm kind of surprised Will's not using his warp spell.
He already used 3 of them, so...
Oh, he did save outside of ordeals. Never mind.
Yeah.
As Zar gets through the volcano, I wanted to give you an update of the 231 possible chests in the game. We have crossed the 100 mark in the number of chests that have been opened.
I think Will forgot he already entered this chest once. This pillar, excuse me. Or was it the correct pillar? There's so many pillars, man.
Yeah.
I think Will's thinking the same thing.
Fuchsia Fantasy, there are actually, I think in the vanilla version, pillars that go unused.
It's also worth mentioning that with the way the pillars are randomized, there is a small chance of soft locking the game. I don't know the exact number. I believe it is 31. If you go through 31 pillars and then access your menu, you will soft lock the game. You will not be able to continue. You'll have to reset. Which is why it's very important to use the warp spell. If you go the wrong way, the warp will take you back to the previous pillar.
But if played right, you can clear ordeals in potentially 3 minutes or less, depending on how the encounters go for you and your choice of pillars. So it's not always a bad way to go and knock this out.
Alright, Will's going to head over and see what's in the tail chest. And a slab! Holy crap, Will's in go mode. That is huge. Huge!
So an hour and 4 minutes, Will is in go mode.
Although I don't necessarily agree with him leaving without at least attempting the zombie dragons to see what they offer, because that's a really good place to grind if you're already there.
That's true. I think he'll go to Volcano and grind on Agmas because he does have that ribbon, and he can just kill off the rest of his party pretty easily.
That's true. And I mean, I did say it earlier that he should have went to Ordeals as soon as he found everything else. And everyone who says otherwise, well, they're wrong. And if they don't believe me, well, then that's not what I said. I have the hugest brain here, and I read the randomizer guide like 100 times a day, and none of y'all know.
because he gets 1 word a day out of it.
Shut up. Just because you're right doesn't mean you have to tell everybody.
Oh,
I think this is a bit of a vindication for WillBloodworth for having missed ordeals in his last. Actually, I think it was his last 2 races. Even he has skipped over ordeals. He's got to be feeling a sense of vindication now that he actually found what he was looking for in the one time he does take it.
I mean, Will hasn't made a bad decision yet. I mean, I think we can all agree with that. Whether or not he got lucky or however you want to word it, he has made the correct call at every turn.
yeah, it's definitely routing this game has been pretty good. Looks like he's gonna go get the chime, and then he'll be set to go, and just he'll chime and oxtail, and then he'll be good to go. He can just.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with the getting the chime now, only because you're already there near Volcano, and you're probably not going to the Mirage Tower yet. But, He could be doing the Blue Dragon grind. That's a good point, Edge.
I think it's one of those things, maybe if you had knocked it out while you were on that side of the world, turning in the bottle, but maybe making a separate trip, I probably would have abstained from that.
I mean, you're going to make the trip regardless, and you're not really gaining any time by going early. If you're already going to be hopping over the mountain and going to Mirage Tower, these are little things that only, maybe cost you 10, 15 seconds here and there. But at this point in the tournament, 10 or 15 seconds are pretty significant. Or he could do what Musical Dork said and just get it before he forgets to get it. Right, Tristal?
Just done the math. We are currently at 122 chests opened between both of them.
And Will probably not open a whole bunch more after this.
No, I mean, if I'm him, I'm probably opening the group in the bottom floor Mirage Tower, maybe the second floor of Fire, and then any greed chests that you're right next to that only take 2 seconds to grab. But other than that, yeah, I'm probably staying away from everything.
Once I hit go mode, I tend to not check any chests at all.
Well, a lot of it also depends on what equipment you have. He does have 1 ribbon, which is helpful, which will absolutely go in his black belt in Topher. He's got the Mazimune, which will probably stay in his Steve after he does his upgrade or his grinding. So then it's more about convenience, maybe getting another ribbon.
Yeah.
Or getting the katana and moving the Mazimune down to the red mage. Things like that.
I may have missed Fast. Was Fast in either Gaia or Lefane?
He didn't check Gaia.
Because I think that should factor into his grinding a little bit in regards to his black belt. If Fast is definitely out of his reach, all he'll have at his disposal is 1 red mage with temper. Especially if he's in go mode, does he take the black belt all the way to 42?
I think he'll go to 42. It's Will. He likes the One Punch Man strats. So, and with the percentage that it is, definitely most likely going to go to 42.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go into Topher with 300% stats at 32. You're just not going to get through it. 42 is really what you want to do. He might stop at 39 or 40, but he's definitely going to get there.
So very accommodating Agama just wiped out Czardia's party so that he could begin his grind at the 1 hour and 9 minute mark.
And we got Will doing a preliminary grind on the fires. I'm not sure why he's doing this first. Maybe he feels like he needs to be a little bit higher before he gets down to the Agama 4.
I think so. I think Will's like level 11. So he'll probably want to get a couple levels, even though he does have Masa. But he might find something else to grind on. Looks like these fires aren't overly friendly. But
and now we have a tan carpet.
With some blue highlights.
I got nothing. I can't think of anything clever to say.
And if you have any popcorn or any candy in the pantry or want to go get yourself a glass of water, now's about the time to do it. We've already seen the chests that are in Volcano, and so we've seen Czar set up and execute his grind. Now WillBloodworth just has to make his way down to the same floor, start the very same grind himself. So I don't think you're going to miss much in the next 2 minutes, so feel free to grab yourself a snack, kick your feet up, and chill out, relax, chat, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, not whatever you want, because, you know, it's Twitch chat.
It's true. Yeah, the grind to 42 with these stats and experience boost takes about 10 or so minutes if you grind on Agamas. So we're going to be here for a little bit.
Don't think of it as like an intermission.
Yes. If you have any Agama facts, please feel free to post them.
For example, Agama fact: Agamas spray urine at their assailants if startled. Excuse me.
All that.
As a matter of fact, we'll go one step further. For every Agama fact, we will introduce the Agama fact to the crowd.
Agamas do not sleep; they wait.
Agama fact: it is illegal. Excuse me. It is the illegitimate love child between Chuck Norris and the Sun. Agama fact: Agamas are fiction. Agama fact: Agama urine is actually Fire 3. Come on, Tim, I know you got more.
Agamas are Team Steak. All the more reason it's satisfying to watch them get pummeled like this.
Agama fact: Agama fact: Agamemnon is the father. Agama fact: you can't spell Agama or wait, what? Amaga without MAGA. You do the math.
It's Make Agamas Great Again. That's what it stands for.
Agama fact: Agamas are restoring their health by absorbing Warmax nuclear. Agama fact: Jumbordis can't kill Hyper Agama. Agama fact: Agamas always choose to be wizards when they're playing D&D. Agama fact: Agama is really Luke's father. Agama fact: their antennas are used for finding lost adventures to feast upon. Agama fact: Agamas don't roo-roo-roo. Agama fact: when I wake up, well, I know Agama be the man who wakes up next to you.
That's a good one.
Agama fact: Agamas are literate, but only in Sanskrit. Agama fact: it's really an Agama who blew up the Hindenburg. I gotta read these before I say them. Agama fact: the scientific name of Agama is Agama. Agama fact: those aren't its eyes, those are goggles. Agama fact. Trump owned 3 Agama. Our giant fact. Our giant sprite is printed upside down in the Nintendo Power Strategy Guide. Agama fact. 1 in every 3 Agamas is a member of the Crescent Lake Bar Association.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Agama fact. Agama was the original idea of Omega weapon and such Omega Ultima and such weapons. Whew. Agama fact. An Agama's body temperature is so high their meat comes out perfectly cooked upon death. Agama fact. Agama meat is used for restaurant training because the skills required to cook it give workers the experience needed for the job. Agama factor. Tyros are better than Agamas? You lie. Agama fact. His name is Agama. Agama fact. Agamas are the ones that put the fairy in the bottle.
Oh, those jerks.
Agama fact. Agamas are worth 1 Agama of experience. Agama fact. They also wonder how long Trista was at the bathroom for.
Yeah, Tristal, what happened in that last game? You, screen froze for quite a while there.
Agama fact. Agama is Santa Claus. Agama fact. Agamas have an irrational fear of moths. Where are you guys coming up with these? Agama fact. Tyro supporters have found a great substitute for Tyro steaks. Agama steaks.
Love it.
Agama fact. The unscientific name for Agamas is EXP Pinata.
That is actually not true. The EXP Pinata is actually the big eyes down in Sea Shrine.
Agama fact. The unscientific name for... Oh, I already said that one. Agama fact. Agama's favorite food is Dan. Agama fact. An Agama came in second in the Olympics, losing to Aoma, but beating out Susanama. I get the joke. I got that reference. Agama fact. The proper term for the meat of the Agama is charloin. Agama fact. Agamas tend to range between 12.5 to 30 centimeters. Agama fact. The natural enemy of Agama is the Gamma. Agama fact. Agama thinks Tristal should keep an empty bottle nearby.
Oh, the one they emptied the fairy out of.
Agama fact. In recent years, Agama lizards have been retconned to have feathers. Agama fact. Agamas should be cooked in the freezer to an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
So we're gonna have a new team Agama, team Agaloin, Charloin thing now. But who's not gonna kill an Agama? Question.
Agama fact. And a group of Agamas is called a sumgamma of Agamas.
There's your math. Nerd!
Nerds! Agama fact. Agama is a robot in disguise. Agama facts need a website. Oh, this. I've been doing this too long. Agama fact. Agama comes from the Greek for unmarried. Oh, wait, that's not an Agama fact. Agama fact. Agama facts need a website. Kappa Kappa.
We are still waiting, so don't feel like you've missed anything if you've arrived.
Agama fact. Their mating call is regularly confused for the sound of a toilet flushing.
Now keep in mind, guys, you're going to get Bismarck in trouble if he keeps laughing, and then...
It's a true story. My wife's going to come down here and beat me upside the head with a dead lizard.
We're gonna be down a commentator. Keep him coming.
Agama fact. Symptoms of Agama exposure include loss of rational thought. Agama fact, they are really hot. Agama fact, when referring to a single agama in a group, the proper term is a share, as in a share of experience.
Czar hasn't even hit 32, and it looks like he's moving on.
Well, Czar is out of heal potions, so that is probably fueling his decision to move on.
Agama fact, sorry, is moving on. And we're done. Nope, no more Agama facts.
I want to point out that Drumboard has said mooing on. I like that better.
He did.
Alright, so we're going to take our first look here at Carry 1.
Okay, wait, we got one more. Sorry. Agama fact. An Agama ran for ruler of Gurgu. It lost to carry despite bringing a lot of experience to the table. I'm sorry. That one had to be said.
And Carry goes down.
What? There was a carry? What are we even doing here?
See, this is what happens when you read Agama facts. Someone's got to be watching the game.
We're playing a game?
So Czar has down at his second fiend, but don't let that fool you. He might actually be quite a bit behind in the accumulation of items.
Oh, there was a carry, but now there's a nice big paste on the floor with a couple swords next to it.
Yep. So where do we think Czar is going to go next? I guess that's the question. And is he going to continue to grind?
If I'm Czar, you almost have to go to Ice Cave next.
Okay.
I mean, he still could go to Ordeals, but, I mean, Czar's got to know that the closest thing and the one that's most likely to give him something he wants is going to be ice.
Yeah. Do you think he'll leave his party dead and then continue to grind to 42 once he gets to ice, or is he going to like chance it and just keep it at 32?
I'm not leaving my party dead in ice. Not with the wizard encounters with just one black belt. Yeah, they may run, but if they're internal morale, which is another stat that you can't see, if it's high enough and they don't run, it's going to be a slog having to kill them all one by one by one by one.
I do wonder what would be going through Czar's head since we are at the 122 mark and he's not completed his grind yet. And he may think that because he went to Earth, he maybe feels that WillBloodworth might not have gone to Earth and he might feel incredibly behind. Does that fuel his decision to maybe take a gamble and go Ordeals first?
Well, the fact that you haven't seen anything in Earth or Volcano of note other than Ribbon, I don't know if a gamble's the way to go at this point, because if you find nothing in Ordeals, the game's over. You know you've lost. Not really, but I mean that's got to be the thought process that goes in your head.
Yeah, but we know he's going to find the slab in Ordeals.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, Floater is in Ice Cave.
A handful of actually really good items are in Ice Cave. The Floater is in Ice Cave, the Defense Sword is in Ice Cave, the Tail is in Ice Cave. So an Ice Cave run would prove fruitful for Czardia.
That's a good point. I forgot about the Tail, which means you're probably going to see Will, after he pushes Carry through a cheesecloth, head over to the Czardia Isles and go ahead and upgrade his characters.
As we're seeing Will sort of come to nearing the end of his Black Belt grind, let's update everybody on kind of what happened and what got us to this point. The TNT was in the third chest of the game in Temple of Fiends, but we had our early route divergence as Czardia decided to check Marsh Cave anyway to see if there happened to be any extra treasure. Both of our runners went to Earth V1 and found the ribbon. The WillBloodworth went to Ice Cave, found the previously mentioned items, including the Floater, as well as, and the Floater too, I did fail to mention the Floater, Crown, the Tail, and the Defense Sword were all in Ice Cave. The Slab was in Ordeals, in the incentivized chest in Ordeals, and that is pretty much where we're at.
Tap, tappity, tap, tap, tap.
And Czar is finally heading to the ice cave.
See, now, if you're Czar, you're probably... I mean, you could go to Ordeals after this, but I feel like if I'm Czar, I'm probably going to go ahead and try to do Water and Mirage, because the chances of finding the slab there are significantly higher than finding them in Ordeals with the amount of chests. He may go to Ordeals first, and if his tournament life is to remain viable, he's going to have to, but if he doesn't, the fact that Will's in go mode and is probably only going to check maybe 5 chests total in those dungeons puts him at an unbelievably significant advantage at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're running the numbers, I'd be torn about going to Ordeals if you're Czar, because at the point when he completes the ice cave, he will have the floater, the crown, the tail, and the ruby, leaving him slab on the important items and the adamant and the ribbon, and technically the Masamune, though we know it is in Crownlocked Elf Castle. He will have to weigh the decision between that sort of 1 in 4 odds in his mind of whether or not he thinks slab is in the incentivized Ordeals.
That's correct. Plus, you have to complete Water Shrine and the Mirage Tower, as well as Sky Temple. You do not have to complete Ordeals, which is also going to factor into his decision making. He's already going to have to go to these, and he's got to feel like he's behind at this point after doing 2 full dungeons with no significant progression items.
Yeah.
Chat, just so you know, even though we're not reading these Agama facts out loud, I am super appreciative that this meme is continuing to go on. Thank you.
I like that Entroper is actually putting out Agama facts, whereas the rest of them are kind of memes and pretty funny, don't get me wrong. But I just want to throw out there that Entroper is actually putting facts out there. And there's already with our crown.
Tell whoever said thank you in the backgrounds, Fort Zandu, that I said you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Or that might have been Show's stream, I'm not sure. And Show is in the background, wrapping up Christmas presents, excuse him.
They're for his cats.
Alright, Will has hit 42, and he's going to go ahead and just hit one Agama upside the face on the way out the door. And probably go and head down to Carrie and push her through a mesh vent.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever seen Resident Evil? Yeah, that's about to happen.
Wanted to note that I've noticed in my particular runs, oh, he's not even taking the red D, so yeah, that was a good call going 42. Sometimes if you're not in go mode, you may want to short that by 1 or 2 fights, and then you can go hit the Agama twice and the red D to check that chest. But because Will's in go mode, he doesn't need to do that.
So Will, the next 3 dungeons take about 7 to 10 minutes each. So Will will probably be in Ordeals probably before the hour 50 mark. So this could potentially be a sub 2 for Will.
And Will just got done recreating that scene of Game of Thrones where the mountain crushes the Viper's head.
Whoa, spoilers! I don't know what you're talking about. I have not seen or read Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
And Will getting the class change. He'll probably get the spells that he couldn't learn.
Agama fact: Tiamat is actually 5 Agamas duct taped together.
So it's actually a pretty good one.
That's why I wanted to read that one. And there's the floater for Czar. Czar's probably saying to himself, finally!
Yeah.
Now why won't somebody flush it?
Oh.
Not this again. I'm imagining that Czar is probably going to go take a look at the eye. Either that or he's just had a really bad time here in the ice cave.
Yeah, the highest damage I've ever seen is in the 3,000 range, so to actually see in the 4,000 range is something pretty special.
What ends up happening is, even if you were level 50 and you had all the tempers in the world or the power glove, you could roll your attack power over once it crosses a certain threshold. So maxing it out or getting close to maxing it out probably isn't even going to come close, even if you tried to recreate that. Czar's not having any of the eyes, so he's just going to take his toys and go home.
Alright, so now comes a moment of truth for Czar. This really is his tournament life in this decision. It's not over by any stretch. Things can happen. Topher can be unforgivable. However, I do feel like with the way Will's playing and his decision making, Czar's got to make that choice of good ordeals now, or it could be out of reach soon.
One thing we may or may not have mentioned at the very beginning, this is a single elimination bracket. In the Garland bracket, you either win or you go home, as opposed to the upper level bracket, which is best out of 3.
Do we think Czar's going to go check crown chest before he goes to ordeals? Or he'll do the crown quests?
I'd probably check crown chest. Although you're not, you're not in go mode, so you have to check the crown chest. So yeah, I mean, that's probably what I would do first. That in Czardia Islands, and then since I'm already up in Czardia Islands, I'm going to look for the bottle, and then from there, make my choice about where to go next.
Unfortunately, on hindsight, it's not looking very good. The best item he's going to get is the Mass Immune, and while that may help, if he wants to continue his grind or maybe throw it on his... No, he's got the tail, so unless he finds the adamant or something, he could throw that Mass Immune on his fighter. The rest of it's going to kind of turn up empty for him.
Looks like Czar is going to do the crown quests first.
Let's see if he gives. Let's see if Astos gives him the same problems he gave WillBloodworth.
Most likely not. He'll probably just send him to a very long nap.
WillBloodworth is taking the scenic route up to the next floor, or down to the next floor.
And that's it for Astos.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, that fight wasn't nearly as fun the first time around. Will's heading down to Lich so he can grind him up and feed him to his descendants before moving on to his next dungeon. Where would you go next? Water or sky?
I would probably go water and then sky, but the way that the items have turned out, I would probably gamble on ordeals. And Zara's checking the free chests in his islands.
That's correct. For those who aren't aware, Czardia is one of the original runners of the Final Fantasy I randomizer, along with Sho Fukamachi here, and one of our in our tracker Edgeworth, as well as Entroper, who you see in the chat, along with a couple other members of the chat like Tristal. I think Drumboards has been around for a while. These guys really shaped the randomizer and made it into what it is today. Entroper is our lead programmer, but some of these other guys have contributed a lot to the randomizer via suggestions and multiple runs and bug bug searching, debugging, and so on. And due to his, and Czardia actually runs this tournament as well, and he has the distinct honor of being the only person with a actual place named after him in the game.
I think my contributions were what not to do in the game.
And Czars fought his way out pretty good. He actually was knocked down to the Garland bracket back in round 2, and so he has won 3 straight winner-go-home matches before coming into this one.
And I think that's worth mentioning again. With the nature of the randomizer, one wrong decision and your tournament life's over. So the fact that he got down to the Garland bracket in round 2 and worked his way back is nothing short of very impressive. He actually won, sorry, I don't mean to correct you, but he actually won 4 matches in the Garland bracket. So 4 winner-go-home matches.
Oh, my apologies. That's even better.
Yes, he beat Azrael Ravenheart in the first match, lost to our famous Rururu runner, Mute, in the second round, and then beat Zarnax, Shylezia, Jay Coper, and Purity the Kitty before ending up in the round 4 of the Garland bracket against WillBloodworth. And again, the winner of this match will face X Ice Blue, one of our moderators and one of the Graybeard bunches of the group. Or Grey Bush, depending on your point of view. We have a question in chat. How much Tyro meat would Chuck Norris chuck if Chuck Norris could chuck Tyros? All. The answer is all of it.
Just to make the viewers aware at home, out of the 231 possible chests, we have crossed over 140.
Nerd.
Looks like Czar will find the Masamune next to the Flame Sword.
All right, and we got the Governor on WillBloodworth's screen running to the Sea Shrine. 5 points for anybody who knows what I'm referring to.
The Governor has signed my college diploma.
No kidding, did you really?
Yes. He was the governor of California when I graduated college, and so his signature is on my diploma.
How old are you?
I'm really old.
I'm just kidding. You're probably the same age as me.
We are all probably the same age.
I've been discovering that I'm one of the older members of this Final Fantasy random community.
Except for Edge, because Edge is like 75.
That's true. Edge is like at least 10 times my age. Because I'm like 7.
Oh, were you born on leap year?
Maybe. Actually, I think I was born on leap year.
We can't stop here. This is Shark Country.
Well, checking some chests just for posterity.
Or Power Glove.
Bonkity bop bop bonk. I ain't scared of no ghosts.
2 hits, 141. Pretty hard hitting.
Fun fact, the ghosts are actually the hardest hitting enemy in the game, and yes, that includes Chaos. However, they generally only hit once, which is their single redeeming factor. Because if the ghost could hit more than once, this would be probably the scariest dungeon in the game.
Well, they are ghosts, so...
Heyo! Just remember, guys in chat, we were encouraged to have 3 members in this commentating group.
Jumbordus, the spooky Agama fact. These ghosts are the remnants of all the Agamas you kill.
Spooky.
You figure there'd be a lot more of them, though, if they were really the remnants of all the Agamas that we killed.
Dear God, there'd be 10 billion of them.
And we have our first EX Pinata. The big eye.
It cannot be overstated how much experience these guys are actually worth.
I think with max boost together, these guys are like 7,500 experience or something like that. With a party of 4. So if you just had one person, you potentially could overflow, I think.
See, with Will being in Go mode, something we haven't touched upon yet is unrunnable encounters, and this is one of them. Will is finding out the hard way just how bad those red Sahags really are.
Oh,
holy smokes!
Thunder!
This is an unrunnable encounter.
Shocking.
You cannot run from it. The game will not let you.
And now he's really wishing he'd put something on his black belt that was a mass attack.
Well, it looks like they ran away. So, lucky,
After just
but not lucky.
utterly devastating his party.
One Punch Man it is. I don't need no friends. I'm the governor.
We got Czar checking more crown chests.
Well, we'll see if Kraken has max evade and a high defense, because that would be really brutal on Will's side at this point.
That would be a setback.
So you could say those red Sahags were
Here comes-
shocking. Yeah! Oh, come on, that was clever.
It's okay. I know you're just trying to lightening up the mood.
No!
Bow, 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 ba-da.
Guys, welcome to the Final Fantasy I Randomizer shit show.
Would you say WillBloodworth's party has been thunderstruck?
So we're taking our first look at Kraken. And he's dead.
And our last.
He just ripped off his tentacles and beat him to death with them. Be nice to the octopus, kids.
Whew.
You lose at the internet, Trumbordist. It was not the Wiz Sahags, it was the Red Sahags.
Yeah, I guess you could say for Kraken, the hits keep coming.
Oh.
Right now, we just have Czar continuing to check crown chests. Will is going to make his way over to Mirage Tower.
Will, please go back and buy 10 bottles. Could somebody jump into his stream and tell him to buy them? Shenanigans.
One of you guys says shenanigans one more time.
Hey, Farva! What's that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit in the walls and the mozzarella sticks?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
Oh! You know there's another one coming out.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I don't know. It's like the humor is like 12 years too late. Like, I'm hoping it'll be great, but I'm really worried that it's going to be like all those other movies that you waited forever for a sequel for, like Anchorman.
Or Dumb and Dumber.
Well, yeah, we'll just go with that.
Well, right now he's heading into the Mirage Tower, skipping all of the chests.
Will is in an extremely yes, thanks, Edge. You know exactly what I was going to say. Will's got an extremely large advantage at the moment.
Yeah, you definitely could say he's winning right now, but I don't know. It really depends on what happens in Temple of Fiends. But for right now, yeah, you can say he has a fairly sizable lead.
Now, lead's a dirty word. We don't say that here. It's advantage.
Zara is still looking for the bottle.
I usually find one hidden underneath my TV stand when my wife gets to remove it.
Now we're up against the blue D. Let's see how weak it is.
Gently.
Meow, he takes that out pretty quickly.
I can't do it. I just can't do it.
We have a question, Meow, in chat. How long do runs typically last? A typical run will go anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 hours, depending on how Meow the seed allots the treasure chests, how hard some of the enemies are, Meow, and how just tough some of the bosses are and whatnot.
You're gonna get me in so much trouble.
I think Bismarck may be dead here in a little bit.
It's worth it. Oh my god. I think I just had an aneurysm.
Was that yelling? Anyway, we'll take over while he goes to appease his angry wife. We see Will going through the floating fortress.
My son. I gotta be quiet. I just heard my son over the baby monitor.
And
I'm gonna turn on the lights and pretend like I'm not here.
We might have an appearance by Speedrunner Hudson.
And probably my very pissed off wife carrying him to me.
Guys, let's get some Speedrunner Hudson cheers in chat going.
Warmech wife incoming.
It's baby rage.
We are trying to see if our own Warmech is popping up on the bridge here. Not really a good hero run for Will. He's hitting just about every encounter. And he has made it.
Everybody say hi to Tiamat.
Hi, Tiamat.
Ooh, Tiamat with Blaze.
He ain't going down without a fight.
Oh, with that, he just a punch in the gut.
And down goes Tiamat. Bye, Tiamat.
So that is 4 feeds for WillBloodworth. He is ready for Temple of Fiends Revisited. Tsar is picking up his cube. Always get the cube, kids.
Always. Get the cube. Do not forget the floater. Do not forget to check the chest the floater is in.
Tristal.
And Will entering Temple of Fiends Revisited at the 149.5 hour minute mark.
For all those paying attention, I'm the one that called it sub 1 hour 50.
While we are in Temple of Fiends Revisited, let's revisit one of those Agama facts.
I see what you did there.
Warmech is piloted by an Agama scientist.
Ooh, life 2, level 7.
And there was fast, but I'm pretty sure it's out of their reach.
Just remember, chat, someone put this motley crew of commentators together.
Hey, Czar asked, I said yes, so...
And then Czar asked again.
Alright, so we are coming up on the Phantom. We will see if the Phantom has any surprises in store for Will's party.
And it looks like the first person... Whoa, what?
Oh.
We got some wife rage over on show stream.
Except I'm not going to die like you.
We got a Tyro sighting.
Oh, we're going to have some
Run.
Tyro sticks because Czardia is stakes.
Oh, well, Czardia's already
Yay.
losing, so you may as well dig that hole a little deeper. I mean, you know, I knew Czar was a total loser. This just proves it to me.
Damn, that was kind of harsh.
Well, you know, Tyro should be respected.
So now, it looks like he's already a really... I mean, he did go to Ordeals next. He didn't go anywhere else first. And he still has 2 dungeons to go and Ordeals as well. This is going to be a tough mountain for him to climb. Not impossible, but definitely a tough mountain for him to climb.
If one of the fiends is Trolley and Topher, Czar could catch up.
I think if you're Czar at this point, you gotta hope maybe Will passed out at the keyboard or something.
I mean, it ain't that far from a possibility.
It's true. We are kind of working against the clock here.
For those who aren't aware, this is the last day that this round can take place, and our runner, WillBloodworth, is actually very ill. He has a fever, along with arthritis, and is having a lot of health issues. So the fact that he's out here and performing as well as he is really, really impressive. And some love should definitely be thrown his way after this race is over, regardless of whether he wins or not.
Yes. Give him a like and a follow. Give Czar as well a follow on Twitch.
Yeah, Czar
Afterwards.
definitely. He runs a number of games. He does Zelda 1 Randomizer. He's been doing a lot of Final Fantasy Legend 2, doing full record attempts with various parties. So, yeah, and of course he's the one who got this all organized. So definitely give Czar a follow. Definitely give Will shout outs. You know, he's definitely been under the weather for quite a long time, but he toughs it out, and he's a very good runner himself.
Yeah, Will is he was a dark horse in this race. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and call a spade a spade. Nobody saw him getting this far, but anybody who's been paying attention to the tournament can tell you that every round Will has improved. It's been noticeable. He's gotten better. He's made better decisions, and it showed. And he's beaten very, very good runners at this game, and they're not fluke wins either. And if this keeps up, he's about to take out another legend of the randomizer. So, you know, no matter how weak you think you are at this game, if you want to give it a go, jump on in, give it a couple shots, and see where you end up. And before you know it, you could be the next WillBloodworth making it towards the end of the tournament. Nobody saw you coming.
Yeah, definitely. And I can say that as a relatively new player, I jumped on last November with the extra live stream. And so if you have any questions or otherwise, the new player channel on Discord is absolutely wonderful. We're always trying to organize runs and get more people involved. So feel free to give us a join. Drumboard us, kick up that Discord link again for me if you'd be so kind.
And just down a beefy carry. And Czardia finally fighting this almost 2 hours in. Ooh, 6 waters. Definitely not the one you would want to run into.
No, and waters can hit pretty hard. They're very scary when you get multiple hits out of them.
They definitely are. They rocked Black Belt for 70 and Ninja for 105. Oh, but they seem to be semi-paper thin.
Well, Will's very happy to have that black shirt. And probably regrets wasting his Ice 3 just now.
I think when you're this far along, he's probably okay with that.
So Zar is officially in go mode, I think. I don't know if he's going to take time to check chests or anything at this point. He'll probably go straight water and sky.
Something I noticed, the rest of Will's party is about level 20. That's going to make things interesting if Chaos has nuclear in his arsenal.
Yeah, his goal when he gets to Kraken, Tiamat, and Chaos is probably going to be to get off the white shirt. That's going to be his #1 priority. He's probably going to do white shirt as well as the defense sword on his black belt before he does anything else. Just to give him a little bit of added survivability, because if he loses his black belt, he's done for, and he knows it. He can lose everything else in this party, but he needs to keep the black belt alive.
Yeah. But mention in chat, does Zar have Vorpal? Which he does not, but Zar is definitely well known for championing the Vorpal as like the best weapon in the game.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
If I remember right, the Vorpal was key in Edge's win, or in Tristal's win over Edgeworth in this very game today. Tristal's black belt didn't get a single hit off because he had gotten hit with slow 2, and his fighter had a Vorpal sword, and that led to downing Chaos.
Sure, I think the Vorpal with weapon fixes on has like 60% chance to crit.
He was Tristal over Edge. Unfortunately, Edge did not make it past Tiamat 2.
Will's seen a very, very good Kraken fight. This is exactly what you want to see out of Kraken.
And goodbye, Kraken 2.
Alright, Will's heading on to Tiamat 2. There are only 2 bosses left in the game for him. And he's got to be feeling really good about his run. I mean, at a sub 2 hour pace in this seed, you have to be happy with.
Until you run into the Twilight Book Club.
That's true.
Sometimes
it's the Sparkle crew.
This fight actually is a bit tougher than it looks sometimes. The vampires and the wizard vampire can hit pretty hard.
Yeah, a race I did this morning, the vampires hit really hard.
They get very offended when you make fun of their literature. So we got Fire 3 on Tiamat. Doesn't look like it's doing too terribly much damage.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you'll take Fire 3 all day long.
He also doesn't look like he has terribly high absorb.
Which is good, because then he'll just punch him to death.
His head for 437 is still a little high, but thankfully his evasion's about normal. There we go.
Zara's
And he's
heading
off.
to Sky.
Here we go. This is the moment of truth for Will.
Oh, the vampires cast sleep. This could be bad for him.
Oh,
he gets away.
But the dude saved it. Dana, Dana, dude looks like a lady. Dana.
He's not out of the woods yet. He still has to get to that staircase, and he does.
The dude does abide, Edge. Thank you.
Right side. I don't know why he goes right side. That's generally the wrong decision, but I'll let it slide for now. Oh, he's doing Bane strats.
I mean, what else is Macho Man Savage going to do up in that top slot?
I'm not sure why he's walling, or did he take his ribbon off his black belt?
I have no idea. Maybe to keep the white mage alive.
Oof.
Ooh yeah, Randy Savage taking a dirt nap. Lit 2, fairly good thing.
But as we all know, the ninja did his job. That was what he was there for, was to take the hit to the face.
Which is weird, because ninjas normally don't get hit with anything, but, you know, this must have been a very bad ninja.
Chaos seems to be a little beefy. He's right at about his vanilla 2,000 hit point mark.
$2,700.
Oh no!
Oh, and the white mage is down.
But it's all right at this point. I think the black belt will take care of everything.
3,400 at this point.
And it's a
Whole day
one-on-one
win.
match.
Yep.
Whole day to win.
Whole day to
Lit
win.
2 is always good.
GG's
And
to
he's
Will.
down.
And ladies and gentlemen, Will moves on to the next round, and Czardia's tournament ends here in the Garland bracket.
Yep.
That is an official SRL time of 2:01:01.
How? How the hell did I
Looks like
win this
Czardia is
freaking
going to
race?
continue with the race. In a show of sportsmanship, he was one of the first people to send a GG to Will over in our IRC
What the
channel.
hell? Well, time to go into... Oh, God.
And welcome to the interview channel, Mr. Bloodworth. How are you feeling?
Oh, half dead, but I can't believe I actually won that race.
Yeah, GG's.
I gotta
Thank you.
tell you, man, you didn't make a single wrong decision.
Thank you.
I mean, it was like, wow.
Hey, man, something's got to go right in my life right now.
True story.
No doubt.
Yeah, your routing was definitely like basically perfect. Right at the beginning, you guys kind of went different routes. You went to Crescent, and after you did the TNT, whereas Czar went to Marsh and explored Marsh Cave.
Yeah, I toyed with the idea of going to Marsh just for some extra money to buy the pro rings or gold bracelets in Elfland, but I thought better of it. Like, it's really not worth the time sink to go there.
So, question: after you found basically everything in the ice cave, why didn't you stay to grind on the eye?
Because I didn't feel like the rest of the party was strong enough to handle the step off encounter. I felt like if I did, and if I got ambushed and wiped by like wraiths who were hitting like maniacs, I would feel pretty bad if everything got wiped out. So. Yeah. It was a precautionary measure. I wanted to see the volcano enemies first. That's why I tested fire, and then when I saw that agamas were made out of freaking tin foil and paper, I figured, yeah, let's just take this to 42. Not even check the red dragon, because I don't want to mess around. I don't want to take unnecessary risks and wipe where I don't have to.
Yeah, you definitely like with ice and then getting finding the slab on our deals. You were in go mode pretty early.
Yeah, it was like 55 or so. It was pretty damn early. I was shocked. I'm like, all I have to do now is grind and then plow through the rest of the game, and I'm good. Yeah. And I almost forgot to get Oxyale. I wasted a ton of time on Astos. That felt really bad. I was like, wow, this is going to cost me the race if I keep sitting here and plunking away at them, and coming in with 2 fire 3 spells and hopes and dreams and those wishes. It's not really.
Yeah. What turned out to be pretty funny was when you were doing your Agma grind, Czardia was doing the exact same thing.
Did he run into the same wall that I did?
Oh.
Well, no, he went to the Earth Cave and fully cleared Earth Cave.
Oh,
and
wow.
then he went to Volcano, and then he went to Ice.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I did the opposite of what I normally do and went and did the incentives. I'm a guy who avoids ordeals like the plague. I'm the anti-files. But this was the right move to make, just to make sure that if there's anything special there, if it's a slab, even if it's a ribbon, I'm not going to feel terrible about it, because 2 ribbons is kind of what I at least try to minimize myself at. But at that point, I said, the hell with it. Let's just make a run at Topher and see if I can come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 1 in 3 chance at ordeals of getting what you needed, and it worked out. I mean,
Thankfully.
oh, and by the way, do yourself a favor. After this is all said and done, go back and watch the VOD of the Agama grind. There's a little present in there for you.
Oh gosh.
The Agama grind?
Yeah.
Yes, just trust me. Do yourself a favor and go back and watch it.
Are you talking about the Dazzle or?
No. Nothing to do with that. Just do it.
Oh man, I'm gonna pass out immediately after this interview, so you can just tell me. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget.
No. I'll remind you tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay.
You have to experience it for yourself.
Oh man.
Hey, Will. So, what fueled your decision to go Earth B1?
Just basically the fact that I had Ruby, and I'm like, hey, I'm already in the neighborhood. I've seen Floater get pulled out of, I've pulled Floater out of my button in floor 1 before a few times. And I figured, well, maybe I'll pull out a bonk glove, maybe I'll pull out a ribbon. Sure as hell, there's a ribbon. I'm like, all right, this didn't feel as bad as I thought it was going to. So it was just an impulse, really. Like, hey, this is going to take me at most 2 or 3 minutes. So let's check 5 more chests.
And I can't say anything. It was definitely a very, very good run for you, and the decision was on point.
Can't believe it. I thought I was going to pass out sitting up. I'm not exaggerating. Like, the whole race, I felt like I was going to pass out. So I'm really happy I made it through, let alone won.
As we're sort of discovering with Czardia right now, how much did you clench when you discovered the red Sahags with Thunder?
Quite a bit. I figured if I can survive with my black belt and enough of them run away, which is literally what happened, then I'll just heal up, make a mad dash for Kraken, cross my fingers and pray. I was actually more nervous about how hard Kraken 1 hit me with just my solo black belt. It was a matter of who went first, and I luckily got to. Otherwise, he would have killed me.
Yeah, it was definitely a coin flip on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've won and lost races by that before, so
All right, looks like Czardia is going to one-man this, actually. This is going to be interesting.
I'm going to jump in and watch this. We're on Randomania, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
He's going to one-man it with his red wizard. Oh, no. Never mind.
Oh, my. Did he just get wiped immediately?
No. He was on the Wiz Red Sahag group and lost everybody except his red wizard.
Oh no. That's brutal. So he's in the sea shrine. Like he's
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you had him beat.
Jeez. Yeah, this is not what I expected from Czardia. Like it was just on my part very, very lucky routing. Because I could have taken the route he did, he could have taken the route I did, and he'd have spanked me like redheaded stepchild, and I wouldn't have known better. And it's very lucky of me. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he definitely took went unusual even for Czardia. I think this race, because we know he likes to gamble and stuff, but he definitely I was like, whoa.
Yeah, the fact that he does is part of what governed my decision making. Like, I figure if he's going to gamble, my best bet is to go statistically highest probability of finding progression items, which is go to where the most chests are and where the incentivized chests are, and it paid off. So otherwise, I think this would have been flip flopped. If I was racing Edge, it would almost be the other way around.
Yeah, Czar. How can I think you were in Temple of Fiends Revisited. I think before he killed his third fiend.
Oh wow. Jeez.
So, because he full cleared Earth first, and then he went to Volcano, and then of course you guys were running at the same time, which is pretty funny. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, at that time you were in go mode. Mm-hmm. So,
what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. I'm watching, just like this is. Oh yeah. I was gonna say that we both had a bit of a handicap in this race, like me being freaking. Bubble Boy Will right now, and him playing keyboard. That's like, both of us are kind of sitting here with a bit of a handicap on the race. So.
Yeah, I have to admit I did a couple races keyboard strats, and it was not easy.
No.
So
I'm not a keyboard and mouse gamer. Like I've never been a PC gamer, and this is the first game I've ever emulated in Well, actually, this is the first game I've ever speedrun anyway, so I guess it's the first of a lot of things. But I've been a console guy my whole life. When I was doing this, when I was playing the vanilla version of this and running my solo runs, I did it on the console, so I was hard resetting and hard powering on the actual box, just like as if I had a flash card.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out if Zara can take out Kragan.
I hope he does, because this is he's getting there with 3 more people than I got there with.
I don't think he leveled as high as you. He's only 37. Because he quit grinding at 32 because he ran out of potions.
Oh, jeez. Did he have Mazmune or what was his
no, he hadn't got that yet because he hadn't gone to Ice Cave yet. So
yeah, I lucked out.
He was using black shirt strats.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I can't stress enough how lucky I was to choose the route I did, because it doing one thing led to doing the next thing, which led to doing the next thing, and it was always that much easier each step of the way, because with a ribbon from Earth 1, with Mazmune from where was the Mazmune at again? Was that
that was an elf castle?
It was an elf. Yeah, that's it. After I cashed the crown in, so rather than going to Volcano before cashing in the crown, I chose to do the opposite, and it paid off immediately. So I've just been really lucky.
Yeah, definitely a very fruitful ice cave.
Yeah, this is the kind of luck I need to beat anybody that's left in this tournament. Like Ice Blue is the guy I predicted would win it all. He still can. Like I could come up and crap the bed and totally blow the race, or he might beat me by a little bit, but anybody left can beat anybody. And I'm, like I've said since there were 6 or 7 of us left, I'm the weakest runner in this game who's left in the tournament by a long shot. So it takes a lot of luck on my end to win these things. Ice is a better executor. He's better with a varied up party. Like he's got a lot of edges on me as far as his skill set. Like I'm a power level black belt guy through and through. You force 4 party, give me 2 fighters, a white and a black mage, and I'm kind of sitting there twiddling my thumbs. So,
yeah. Speaking of which, because you are facing Ice Blue in your next match, like any strategies? Because it's still going to, I believe, the same flag set.
It is.
So.
Yeah. I want to say if the party composition is similar, if I'm allowed a black belt, which I can't see not being allowed one, and nothing else is prohibitive in the seed, then yeah, it's just going to be a repeat of this one and do the same things. But I know that Ice is he's less apt to take a black belt, and he's also a lot better playing mage strats and fighter strats than I am. So it's going to come down, as always, to Temple of Fiends. If it's brutal, then I'll win, and if it's not, he will. That's, I think, how it'll break down, unless I have a routing collapse somewhere along the way.
Real quick, I hate to detract from the interview. I just want to take a moment to point out for those who are still watching Czardia's stream, when he fought the Gasties, just the 4 Gasties in the last fight, not this past one, and he beat them all. If you notice, his experience was 288. Right. That is due to an overflow glitch. That is one of the things that we've actually fixed in our newest version. Thank you, Introper. Give some love to him. Because of the overflow issues, they have completely changed the way that the experience and gold are put out. You no longer have get 5 times as much plus 500 or whatever the modifier is. It changes how much you actually need to gain a level. Just some information for those who are paying attention and maybe curious as to why 288 experience was given for 4 gas dragons.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, they've also scaled. Entrepreneurs also scaled back the pricing on things so that the gold is the numbers are basically made smaller. So essentially, what we've done is deflate the economy of the game and deflate the experience pools, and the like he said, the experience needed per level. It's smarter because it's taking up less memory, which is a limited commodity in these 8-bit games.
And,
I don't think there's any memory left to work with, is there?
Very, very little. Any of these guys who knows assembly, like obviously Entrepreneur, Game Boy, Split Punched, I believe, does. I think Artea does a little bit. They'll tell you like there's like very little wiggle room left in the coding of this game to make changes to things. Like it's a small miracle that Entrepreneur was able to put in a new sprite for the Tyro on the Team Stake version of the new randomizer.
That's disgusting, I tell you.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, and me being Team Tyro, I didn't see that until I watched other people playing.
I think the first time I saw the Team Stake sprite, I had to stop for like 30 seconds. I was in the middle of a race because I didn't know that I could change it to Team Tower or whatever. And I was just like, that is a funny looking sprite. And I was just laughing for a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Oh, also worth mentioning, everybody wants to stick around. There will be an announcement after the race. It should be a pretty big one. So for all those who are interested, just hang out for a little bit longer. Zardia is on his final stretch, and after he's done, we will have an announcement, I believe, from Czardia himself.
Well, if I can stay conscious for this, everybody else has an excuse to stick around. So. He's running into the Temple of Unrunnables.
Oof.
This is kind of brutal. I had some luck there with Unrunnables too. I think I had 2 water fights. I didn't get into any of the Frost Wolves, Frost Giants, or Gas Dragons, or Zombie Dragons, or Worms.
He definitely didn't have any Unrunnables. Which is pretty amazing.
Man, I might have if I'd known it was going to go this well, I probably would have tried walking on water instead of going to get the ship because it probably would have worked.
Oh man. Zara is getting his usual ZRNG and Topher.
It is just atrocious. This poor guy.
And for those of you that don't know, what we affectionately call ZRNG is just literally the worst luck and encounters that you can possibly get.
Yeah, you're seeing it. You're seeing it right now. This is RNG in action.
He has many videos and clips of him just getting super unlucky. He'll get banged and XXXX through ribbons.
Yep. Yeah, if you thought Jay Cober had bad luck with the bats, Zara has bad luck with pretty much everything else.
You can't really compare anybody's luck to Jay Cober's luck in the bat room in the Earth Cave that one time.
Just awful. Just awful. And that and the he got wiped by those I think it was bulls after a big heavy grind because he classed up and didn't get the magic defense. So I mean, that probably shouldn't have happened either. And he was unlucky enough to have that happen to him. Like both of these guys are solid runners. I'd put them as both top 10 runners in this game easily. And I think they'd be ranked even higher if they didn't have this kind of luck. Well,
I was getting ready to say, so we got Czardia. He's getting ready to go against Lich 2 and start his Fiend grind, Mega Man style, before we get to the end of this game here.
A little bit of boss rush. He's going to have a very tough time with Tiamat, I think, if he gets there.
Well, I feel like he's probably on a one run and done kind of mode. If he gets there, he gets there. If he wipes, he's probably going to forfeit L.
I would imagine so.
But he's being a good sport. He's working on it. We'll see what happens.
He's definitely repping the community very well by legging it out. So, like something I do is I will always finish out nowadays because I minimize my IRC. I don't know, like I didn't know that Zar didn't finish yet. I started getting a few follows. Like notifications were coming up from Gmail, like so and so has followed you. And by the way, if you followed me, thank you. I didn't want to minimize that, but since I don't see IRC, I figured, oh well, crap. I guess Zar finished, and I'm just getting follows because I'm still running. So I pulled it up and saw it. He hadn't finished yet. I was very, very surprised.
I mean, but were you really? Because, I mean,
yes,
you had I'm not trying to take it away from you or anybody else, but you had to know that you made every right choice. at that point. I mean, you hadn't made a single bad choice, so I'm sure there's a little bit of ground to be made in just individual small routing decisions, but the overall picture, I mean, he could not have been much more ahead of you.
Well, yeah, I think if he had a cleaner Astos fight, if he hadn't gone Earth 1 and found a ribbon elsewhere, then there's a lot of ways that this it could have gone cleaner for him too. I made a lot of execution mistakes too. I'm very lucky not to have wiped, most notably in Sea Shrine, to the Red Sea Hag with Thunder or the Kraken 1, because I had such under-leveled party members. I never go into Temple of Fiends with a party member under 300 HP. On this one, 3 of my 4 were under 300. So I did not feel good about going in. It was just a gamble.
Well, Will, you're still alive, certainly in more ways than one. For anybody who's been following you, they know that you've been sort of going through this illness and working through this and grinding and struggling. With a finish like this, how good do you feel going into the next round?
I'm not, to be quite honest, and put all my cards on the table, I haven't felt good. I haven't felt good about, I didn't think I was going to beat Czardia at all. I didn't think I was even going to come close. Like I said, my respect for Ice Blue is very high. And I think that I consider him one of the 4 best runners in this game. Among Edgeworth, Tristal, Ice, and Archaea, who I'd name as the top 4 players in this game. Zara's not far off. Facing Ice in the condition I'm in, let's just say that I feel worse about that race than I do about the one I just won by quite a bit. And then, if I win that, I have the luxury of playing either Tristal or Edgeworth again. And I mean, you guys, if you've watched a single
Speedrunner Hudson's awake. Excuse me, guys. I need to step away.
Go ahead. Anybody who knows Edge or Tristal or knows anything about this community knows that that's running up against a brick wall too. So it's going to take a very charmed run to get through, 2 of the 3 remaining runners. But I'm not quitting until I'm done. So I'm still here.
Well, Czar's coming up on Kraken as soon as he gets past the seafood party platter here.
Do not like. Lobsters are pretty brutal this seed. I guess they kind of normally are, but exceptionally mean in this seed.
So, Will, you opted to take a thief this round. I know you've been practicing more with thieves. Can you let everybody know why you chose the thief over Zard? He took a fighter, of course.
Because thieves can run away. That's the number one reason I take them. They're better at escaping battles. They're better at getting a hero run. If you let them lead the party, they have a better chance of getting initiative on the run. That's if you let them lead it. And also, when you do a class changer, you have accessibility to levels 1 through 4 black magic. So it's a partial gamble that you're going to come up on a temper, a fast, or a nuke in levels 1 through 4. And unfortunately, none of those were the case for this seed. So I didn't bother shopping for the ninja after I did the class change.
Now, some people at the beginning were wondering why you picked a thief, but then put him in the front to start the game. But
that was me. I did say that. That was more curiosity.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh,
that's the reason why. It's just game mechanics. If you have when a thief is in front, the luck stat is something that dictates alongside agility if you get the chance to run first or fight first, or whether you get ambushed. It's the way that the game rolls the random number for that. You have better odds of it working out in your favor when you have a higher luck character leading your party.
It looks like Czar's going to 3-man Tiamat.
He never picked up a life spell, huh?
I guess not. I thought he picked up life.
No, he picked it up. I'm not sure why he's not using it.
I don't know. Maybe he only has 1 or 2 charges of it and he doesn't want to waste it before chaos. But for this fight, he's going to wish he picked him up. You saw how brutal he hits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think somebody in chat commented that there's 4 Agamas duct taped together to make Tiamat.
Seriously. Man. 4 Agamas on steroids and freaking made gigantic. Oh, he had... Is it Medrise or Madris says that he had no charges last time he checked it, so there you are. Yeah, that's gotta feel bad. Like, picking up that spell, this is the prime time to be using it and not have it. Yeah, Drumbordus is calling back to the Agama facts jokes that we were doing during the Tristal Edgeworth race earlier.
What are Agama jokes?
Oh, they're Agama facts. So basically, it's like Chuck Norris jokes, except a little more random and applied to Agamas.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what those were.
Well, now you do. They're just it's chat stupidity that I had no problem participating.
So, Will, do yourself a favor and go back and watch that VOD when you get a chance.
Of the Agamas?
Yes.
I really, really, really want to know what you're talking about. At what point should I be paying attention? Like, what level was I at roughly?
Don't worry about it. Just watch the Agama grind. You'll see it. You'll know it when it happens. Right, Show?
Yes.
So anyway, here we have Zar against Chaos. Will, were you getting frustrated at all with the beefiness of Chaos in this one?
No, because at that point in time, I already thought that I'd lost. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna punch it till it dies, and then come in and congratulate Zar on winning. Like that's really where my head was at. So I'm like, wow, he certainly does have a lot of HP, but it didn't really frustrate me. I knew eventually I was gonna kill him. Had he had a higher evasion stat, it would have felt bad, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, Czardia is definitely having a good Chaos fight.
I always see things like Zap, and I'm always afraid you're going to see that Zap through Ribbon.
Oh, I clinch every time. Well, the Ribbon doesn't protect against Zap. Zap is time magic.
Sure it does. It's all 8 elementals are protected by Ribbon. It's just that...
Oh, Pro Ring. Sorry, I'm mistaken. Pro Ring is protected against Zap.
You're thinking of non-elementals that can't be protected by Ribbon. So, that's why Nuke doesn't help against Nuke. It doesn't help against Slow 2, which is non-elemental. You'd think it was a time magic, but it's not. Congratulations to Zar. A little preemptively. I'm sorry I spoiled it. But
GG.
There you go.
GG,
now you can do it.
there we are. Sorry about that. Didn't want to kill the suspense for you guys, but I just blew that.
We're on pins and needles.
Yes.
Oh, there's more people left in the stream than I thought. The stream had gotten eerily quiet.
Oh, we're still plugging along. We're still plugging along. We're doing good. Thanks for hanging in with us.
Cool.
Finishing what we started.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we can get Darn here.
I'm sure. He's got to make his announcement anyway, so he'll be here.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
true.
sure.
At least he didn't suffer a whole lot of Zarn this round.
It was more at the front end of that Temple of Fiends that he's getting encountered to death by unrunnables.
GG.
These are GGs.
GG all GG.
Yeah, GG's hard. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, so Zar, luckily you didn't face a whole lot of ZaRNG here at the end of the game. Question that I did have is, why did you choose to go to Marsh instead of going out to Crescent Lake after you got TNT?
It was a gamble. I figured, well, I'm on keyboard strats. I'm going to lose time on that already, so why not gamble on Marsh? So once I saw that nothing was in Upper Marsh, though, I said, okay, it's time to cut it 50-50 and get out.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I'm assuming that you did not end up going to the bottom of marsh at any point, because I didn't go in there at all.
No, I never went there.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently my routing was almost optimal from what they were telling me, and it's a lot of good fortune because I was able to pick up a Masamune after I turned in the crown. I got a ribbon from Earth 1, and that helped me do my Agama grind very, very quickly. So it was like everything I was doing was building upon itself and working out in my favor. And had you had the same kind of luck, you would have whooped my butt.
Well, we know what happens with me and luck, so
yes.
I did Earth first, and I barely made it through.
Yeah, well, GG for getting through that Temple Fiends, because Tiamat and Chaos were both a gigantic pain in the ass.
Yeah, so Zara, you opted to gamble on Earth first and then Volcano. Why was that routing as well?
Well, I took the ruby bait, and then after that, I kind of felt that I had to get a black belt grind going early. So I thought Volcano would be the best bet for that, and it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally was.
If you watch the VOD, you two actually, I think, started both of your Agama grinds at exactly the same time.
And I figured out what you were talking about with watching the VOD. It has to be watch chat, which I'm happy to do.
I don't know if I go to chat. There was a very handsome commentator who may have assisted chat in their facts. Don't you sigh at me, show?
Meow, I think you're giving yourself a little too much meow credit.
Hey man, bald is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Zara, I was telling everybody that I really thought you were going to kick the crap out of me in this. Like I was not feeling well at all, and I felt like I'd wasted too much time on the Astos fight, and that a few of the routing decisions I made were a little suboptimal. But yeah, I came in and they just told me you were getting RNG, and the gambles you were making were just, they weren't paying off, which I could totally relate to because that's usually me. So man,
they were the anti-gambles.
The anti-gambles, no doubt.
Well, GG's to both of you. Congratulations, Bo, on facing X-Ice Blue. Follow the runners, both WillBloodworth and Czar. Czar does a lot of things. He also got this tournament started, and we'll be looking to do more. Follow the commentators, Bismarck189, Sforzando, I can pronounce it right, thank you very much, and myself, Shofogamachi. And I believe Czar has it for us.
Yes. First of all, I would like to announce that in light of the tournament, it's been a huge success, and I want to thank everyone involved, staff. I'd like to thank the viewers. I'd like to thank Randomizer Mania, Speed Gaming, everyone involved. Thank you, everyone. As for the announcement, we are going to be racing the bonus stream using the new version of the randomizer, which could be 1.5 and up from this point. Also, to make the bonus stream a little more interesting, we're going to make this a 4-way race that will be broadcast, and anyone else that is welcome to race the flags along with us is going to do so.
Awesome.
So does that mean it's going to be you, it's going to be Will, Ice, and Troper, Edge and Tristal?
Let's see, the final 4 right now are Ice, Will, Tristal, and Edge. So I'm officially out of that running for the 4-player restream, but I will be probably racing it nonetheless, offline or on my own channel.
Cool.
Well, let me be the first to take this moment to tell you, Will. Ha ha!
Oh no, it's fine. Let me piggyback that announcement by saying I made a promise about a month and a half ago that if I make the bonus stream, I will run the bonus stream with a solo thief.
Oh man!
So
why?
Enjoy because I can, because I've done it before, and because I think people will enjoy it. People will enjoy my misery.
Well, I can't say I'll be doing the same, but
Oh, it's fine. I'm not expecting anybody else to do it either. I'm not even racing anyone. It's just, can I make it through to the end with a solo thief?
I think the question is do I watch the restream or participate? Oh man, this may be very entertaining.
And no, Zalep, I have not done it with 500% chaos, so you are correct. No.
I think I might opt to commentate. I might be one of the only ones who that might be 2-man mode for me.
So
I'll get to 50 a lot quicker than the other 3 racers will.
So GG, well played.
Thank you.
I think that you definitely have earned the position that you are in now for the tournament. And despite not feeling well, I think you played very well. 201 seemed like a solid time for the seed.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, it was a very impressive run from start to finish.
Thanks.
Yeah. So GG's everybody. Thanks to Randomania for hosting us. Really appreciate it. So I'm Shofugamachi, and good night.
I'm Bismarck189. Thank you guys for having me.
And I am Swarzando, rookie commentator. Certainly appreciate everyone who has joined. One more time, give the runners a follow, give us commentators a follow, join us on the Discord channel. We certainly would love to have you, and let's just have a lot of fun.
For sure. And